Today we're going to bring a new material. We're going to talk about DDT Pro Wrestling. We're going to talk about the results of the Super J Cup and upcoming events from New Japan. Also, we're going to discuss and predict of the matches for AEW, and there's many more to come. So buckle up. Welcome to Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Welcome everybody. This is J-Rod here.
And Nico.
So we're going to give you more updates on what's going on. So let's talk about, for the first time, you heard of these guys? You seen many of their matches? We're talking about DDT Pro Wrestling. Now, if you guys are not familiarized with DDT Pro Wrestling is one of the largest independent promotions in Japan. And they have 4 sister companies. There's DDT, Attitude, Pro Wrestling Bazaar, and your favorite,
Stardom.
no, Tokyo Pro.
Tokyo Pro.
Tokyo Yoshi Pro Wrestling.
Tokyo Yoshi Pro Wrestling.
So basically, there's 4 different groups in the same brand. But if you want to know how you can watch it, all you got to do is go to ddtuniverse.com. Now, the reason I bring this up, this past week, DDT Pro Wrestling announced the return of Kenny Omega. What do you think of this?
This should be a good move on not just DDT but AEW as well, considering that he's an exec with AEW, and it's showing that he's holding up his end of, like, I wouldn't say his deal, but for lack of better terms, his deal with bringing in more Yoshi style, or not just Yoshi style, but just more Japanese style wrestling to an American brand like AEW.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. We all can talk about this, you and me and the viewers watching. People say, when are they going to have an alliance with New Japan? I don't think it may be possible, but I had a thought about this for a while. Since Kenny is, before he became known as the Cleaner, or the Best Bout Machine, he was in DDT. I'm like thinking, can they just make an alliance with DDT instead? I mean,
I agree with that.
I feel like they're the most obvious choice, because I don't see any of them in line with any other company. But not to mention, not only Kenny originally came from DDT Pro Wrestling before going to New Japan, they even signed Michael Nakasawa, who's originally from there.
Michael Nakasawa.
Yeah. He doesn't like him, neither does Matt. But yeah, so it's going to be. Now, the reason I brought this up about Kenny, on November 3rd, they're going to have an event called Ultimate Party. It's going to feature Kenny Omega teaming with his female tag team partner, Ryo, versus Miyo Yamashita versus Antonio Honda. So it's a mixed tag team match, which sounds going to be a pretty interesting match to watch, even though I'm not familiarized with any of the opponents, With Ryo and Kenny, we are familiarized.
Yeah.
I mean, Ryo, we have seen her in action in Double or Nothing in that 6-women tag team match, along with Hikaru Shida and Ryo, and her involvement in, Fyter Fest and Fight for the Fallen. But the other two, not so much.
No, not really.
I mean,
Ryo's
I did
pretty dope.
I did see, Antonio Honda was in a match with Santino Marella. So basically, they, as you know, Santino had the Cobra. This guy had something with like a cat or something. I don't know, or a jaguar. I don't know. I gotta look it up again because I saw clips of it. But it is exciting to see that Kenny's returning back to DDT after 5 years. Like, this is the same promotion where he met Kota Ibushi.
Sure.
So it's never too late to forget where you originally come from before you go to a big promotion like New Japan. But we will try to follow up more on this particular event and the match itself. Now, if you want to subscribe, you should, but we just don't know much how it works. You know, the price range of subscribing, and of course the language is all Japanese, and we don't speak Japanese unless you have a friend who does. So
Get that friend.
yeah. Now, in relation to DDT Pro Wrestling, there's this title that you may not have heard of. I just showed him videos of this last week. It's called the Iron Man Heavy Metal Weight Championship. Now, you're thinking, is there really a weight class of it? No. No. There is no weight class on this title. This is their version of the hardcore title and also the 24/7 title.
Ooh.
So
I was going to say not just that, but like the Never Open as well.
well, that's a little different than that.
Oh, okay.
Never Open, you can go any weight. But the Iron Man Heavy Metal Weight is more of 24/7 title.
Oh, okay.
The first time I ever come across this title was through Joey Ryan, who had a playlist on his YouTube channel of him passing on the title to anybody. You see Rey Mysterio, you see Danny Limelight as Spider-Man, Brian Cage, Matt Cross, Excalibur. I can give you a whole list, but if you guys want to see that playlist, I'll try to link it. I'll try to link it up in the description below.
Epic title change.
Yeah. Now, reason I brought this title up, we just have a new winner for that title. And of course, this is from the coolest cat himself, Puma King. He's currently doing a Japanese tour, so he just won that title. So I like to see what the coolest cat has up his sleeves to get away from everybody who wants this title. I mean, cats are they're like the freaky little ninjas.
They got 9 lives.
Well, yeah. I mean, he'll probably dodge every attack anybody tries to get to him. So, yeah. So, this is pretty much what we got for the DDT catalog. But, if you want to learn more, all you got to do is leave a comment down below. Alright, so we're like one day away from AEW's final pay-per-view before the start of the weekly show. All Out. Now, we can say there's predictions in any of the matches. Like, for example, who do you think would win between Hangman Page and Chris Jericho, who will become the first AEW champion?
Hangman Adam Page.
Okay, there's one vote there. Me, I'm a still bit more biased on this one. Now, there are others that I've heard that they're saying it's Jericho. You know, because Jericho is a veteran, you know?
Yes.
We can agree on that as a factor, you know? So, me, I can't say who could win. I mean, I would love to see one of them win it, you know? But it all depends on the story, how it's going to go on this one.
I see Hangman Adam Page as the inaugural AWE heavyweight champion, simply from the fact that he's not only going to be the inaugural heavyweight champion, but he's going to be the inaugural face of AEW. He's going to be the face of AEW probably for like a good few years, depending on how like his all entirely the reception of like the crowd and all that. The next, I would like to see, you know, Jericho most likely take it from him. You know, go have a little back and forth, considering that the wins and losses will matter as they advertise.
Yeah, true. We'll just see what happens when that time comes. We're not far away from that, so we're counting out on that. Now, the next match, this one was more like a change. Originally, it was supposed to be Kenny Omega versus Jon Moxley. Right. But Moxley has suffered an elbow injury that forced him to pull out, which we all can be disappointed on that. But the plus side
is a big but.
Is the person that they decided to replace.
The bastard himself.
Pac. I mean, what do you think of this, of the match they added on this one?
This is... I feel like this is the match we've all wanted, but we didn't know we wanted it because of the Double or Nothing thing that happened where Pac had to pull out with Adam Page. I'd have to say that Moxley pulling out from the All Out and us getting Pac instead, that's like a dream match. I don't know about y'all. Y'all probably was looking for this dream match, but for me, this was a dream match I didn't know that I needed, that we're gonna get.
I mean, I have seen on social media when this whole thing with AEW first launched that this was a dream match that people wanted to see right from the start. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, we got two of the best wrestlers they're facing off, you know,
Yes.
and two wrestlers who spent their time in Japan,
Yes.
you know, so they have what we can say they have similar styles. So we can say this is the dream match we wanted to see, or we wanted to happen, however you want to say it. But we just have to see what the excitement will throw in at us, because these two are great competitors. You know, we have seen Kenny, who's competed in New Japan, Pac, and Dragon Gate. So we don't know what to expect, but I can guess this will be the biggest surprise for all of us on this one. Now let's talk about the tag team match. The winner for this one will receive the first round bye in the tag team tournament. We're talking about Best Friends versus Dark Order. I mean, I predict it probably will be the Dark Order.
I haven't really seen much of the Dark Order. For me, the Best Friends, they're I feel like they're a really good tag team when they feel like it, like that. But I need to see more of the Dark Order's matches. Who are they? The Super Smash Bros.
They were known as the Super Smash Bros. Before they decided to change
the Dark Order.
Yeah. I think maybe because they just want to be remembered before signing AEW as the Super Smash Brothers. But I mean, I do see them as the one team that is willing to dominate the tag team division. I mean, they did beat Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy and Jack Evans and Angelico in that triple tag team match on Fyter Fest not too long ago. But I've seen other videos, like they are like have an interesting dynamic. You know, one looks more like he's like the brawler type, another one like a high flyer aerial type of person. But we'll just wait to see who gets the first round on this one.
I'd rather see more of a SCU versus Dark Order.
Yeah,
but they lost their shot on the whole what is it called, the bracket?
Yeah,
after they lost to the Lucha Brothers.
Yeah. Now the next tag team match we are expecting is for the AAA tag team titles in a Escalera de la Muerte match. Lucha Brothers, who's their current champions, versus their longtime rivals, the Young Bucks.
The Bucks of Youth.
I mean, what do you think? Any predictions, or you're just expecting?
This is some biased commentary on my part, where I think that anytime you see the Young Bucks and the Lucha Brothers, it's gonna take over. It's gonna be the show stealer. To me, for me, that's gonna be the show stealer of it all.
We have seen,
regardless of who wins or loses.
Yeah, I mean, we have seen both teams be involved in ladder matches before. So basically, this is more like determination. Who's gonna come out on top?
The only thing that's missing is the best out of three.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be good. So we'll see what happens. Now the next match, I was hearing this from the Square Circle Cycle Babble a couple of days ago. They think this match is gonna be the one to steal the night. I'm talking about Cody versus Shawn Spears. Do you agree with that?
Well, I could agree with that, considering that all of Cody's matches in AEW sense have been show stealers, and they like from a person like me that grew up with traditional style wrestling, I would say that it might be a show stealer.
I mean,
in singles terms,
if you look back at Double or Nothing, that was an epic match between him and his half brother. Dustin, you know, I mean, but at the end of the match, it was like an amazing moment to see. And then you see in Fyter Fest, here comes Shawn Spears, whacks him in the head with the chair, and it's like another moment right there. It's like, what just happened? I thought those guys were friends.
Right.
And then you see Cody and Dustin in the same matter against the Young Bucks in a tag team match.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got another set of brothers facing each other. Another set of brothers, you know.
The stuff they're doing with Cody and Spears is what you're gonna see with this match. You're gonna see some like traditional style writing, the pacing of the match. Who knows who's gonna win out of this?
But don't forget, there is a factor in this.
Yes.
Sean Spears is being endorsed by Tully Blanchard, a man who's familiarized with the Rhodes, especially Dusty Rhodes. So, basically, they made a deal saying that only one person from Cody's entourage is allowed to walk with him to the ring. Now, they still don't have a clue who could be. Now, there's those who could say it could be Brandy. It could be MJF. It could be DDP, Diamond Dallas Page.
The obvious would be DDP, but I feel like it's going to be we're going to get a shocker. I think we're going to get
There's someone that speculates it could be Magnum TA.
Magnum TA? Ooh.
If you guys are not familiarized with him, he's another wrestler. Now, here's the twist in the story that people are bringing this up.
Huh.
If you know who Tully Blanchard is, then you know his daughter.
Yeah.
Tessa. Now, here's the other best part. Magnum, he is Cody's godfather.
That is true.
Now, Magnum, it's stepfather to Tessa.
Mm-hmm.
Now, imagine the twists in the story-wise.
Oh.
I mean, I could
This
definitely...
will get deep.
I could see this happen if they decide to go with that story. Because we have seen Cody done great storylines in his matches.
Right.
So if they decide to go with this, I think this is going to be the match that really will steal the night. But we can speculate what's going to happen. But we still don't know who will be allowed to walk with them down to the ring. You know.
It's got all the ingredients for a classic.
True. I mean, we're going to watch an epic match we're going to expect on this one. But
Yes.
once we see it, we will give our honest opinion afterwards on this one. Now, the next match they're going to put is the triple threat match. Darby Allin, Joey Janela, and Jimmy Havoc. And they're bringing back the Crackle Barrels itself again.
Yes. Awesome.
I mean, who could forget what happened at All In with Joey Janela and Hangman Page?
You were going to say?
Who could forget the All In match with Joey Janela and Hangman
yes.
Page?
We had a little Donkey Kong Country moment.
It's going to be 10 times better with 3 people. And apparently they announced this on Twitter that they're going to get the barrels from Cracker Barrels. So this is going to be interesting. Now, the next match we did hear about, we know about, is the Casino Battle Royal, but this time is the women's turn.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we have seen or heard who's participating.
Right.
So right now they're still adding more people because you and I have known, and those watching know, they don't have enough women. They're trying to get booked in much as possible. But here's the kicker: this is going to be the same play they did on Double or Nothing.
Okay.
Whoever wins this match, now you and I can predict who can win it. I said I could say it could be Awesome Kong or Britt Baker. You can say whoever, but the winner of this will face who's the winner in the women's match between Rio and Hikaru Shida. Now, there has been already predictions on this match.
Mm-hmm.
There are those that predict that it's Hikaru Shida that could win this match. Do you agree with this?
I would have to go with Rio, simply because of how much steam she has right now. Like, she's popping.
True.
Both, not just in Japan, but also in other places of the world.
Not to mention, she also appeared in all of the recent pay-per-views by All Elite Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
You know, starting from Double or Nothing to Fyter Fest to Fight for the Fallen. I mean,
Yes.
she already has 2 victories and a loss. in all three of them. But this one is like one of those matches that we want to see. But also there's another thing. If you guys don't know this, or you already know, both Hikaru Shida and Ryo were trained by the same instructor, Emi Sakura. So this is going to be interesting, knowing two proteges of a former Yoshi wrestler facing off together.
Right.
But, I mean, look, I can see Ryo most likely could win it. Hikaru Shida can also win it. Because there's certain things. Now, you probably ask, where's Hikaru Shida been since we haven't seen her since Double Nothing?
True.
I mean, I know that she, from the post-match after Double Nothing, they asked her this question if she's planning to move to the U.S., and she said she is. Okay. But she hasn't decided where. She's been recently spending much of her time in Japan. I think maybe she's trying to sink the whole thing in, knowing that once she starts with AEW, then that's when she has to make the transition. I mean, I know it's never easy for anybody who lives in a foreign land to move to another country, which is a strange world for anybody, But that's how I would see it, Now, the next match is another match that's going to put on the buy-in, which is Private Party versus who that I saw in it? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Private Party versus Angelico and Jack Evans.
I think Private Party's going over on this one.
I mean, they have been getting more recognition, not to mention, what was it, on Fyter Fest, in that triple threat tag team match that they were involved.
Angelico and Evans seems too, last minute put together of a tag team. Their chemistry when they were going against, who was it?
The Best Friends.
The Best Friends. Yeah, their chemistry, to me, wasn't as in sync as all the other tag teams.
They have been a tag team before, but not here in the States.
Right.
That was in Mexico.
Right.
So I think maybe the Bucks, since they're in charge of that, bring in tag team, they felt, why not? These guys do have great chemistry, and they have interesting styles they can bring in. But we can't doubt Angelico and Jack Evans' abilities at all on that. I mean, we can say Private Party are getting more recognizable for what their participations these past few months, and also their match they did with the Young Bucks at House of Glory.
Yeah.
But we can wait and see what they're going to throw on this one. Now, this is the match that I'm very curious to watch. The next one.
I'm not.
I am. They're going to have a 6-man tag team match. This one was sort of been already announced, and they added it on the Being the Elite episode.
Yeah, I saw that.
Luchasaurus, Jungle Boy, and Marco Stunt versus SCU.
SCU.
I mean, this is going to be an interesting... I'm going to say there's going to be a bit more comedy on this one.
Okay, I'm with it, with the whole comedy wrestling. I get it, because it's, theater and all that good stuff. But I'm not a big fan of the whole Marco Stunt thing. They need to drop that. It's hell, and if they're going to have him on there, don't have them against SCU. Put him with I don't know, something not SCU. Someone lower on the card, maybe. But, that just seems disrespectful for, the talent of SCU against... What is a Marco Stunt?
Me neither. But yeah, so this is so far what we know about the card in All Out. So like I said, we can predict matches or whatever is possible. It's not going to be 100% accurate. We could be wrong, but we just got to wait and see when it happens. Now, the last thing I want to talk about for AEW, they signed a legendary commentator. And you and I can agree, he was the voice of WCW. We're talking about Tony Schiavone. Thoughts?
Tony Schiavone. Man. I really like the fact that Tony Schiavone is on AEW. He's a good commentator. He knows how to sell everyone's gimmick. With him as the commentator of Nitro, it was actually believable. At that time, before I was like, who what the hell is Scott Hall and Kevin Nash doing? They're just taking over the show. Like the way that he was selling that whole thing. Well, for me as a kid back then, like I was like, is this real or is this kayfabe? Like,
I'll never forget my favorite moment is right after when Sting beat Hulk Hogan at Starrcade for the title. I remember he was like going through the camera saying, "NWO is for losers."
Yep.
And then after the first hour, here comes Bobby Heenan, who they haven't seen before Starrcast, who took the side of NWO, who took over Nitro. Now they were arguing with saying, "You were on the side of the losers."
Yeah.
That made me laugh so hard, realizing it's true. You were with the loser side. So Bobby Heenan was trying to give his explanation, saying, "Well, you guys took off when the whole thing happened, so someone had to stay behind." So he was trying to plead his case, but Tony Schiavone was really playing like saying, "Hey, you took their sides. We just took off because we didn't want nothing to do with them." So, but the one thing that was sucked after WCW, he never got picked up.
No.
I mean, it was like a slap in the face for us who were fans, you know?
Yeah.
And we haven't heard from him for years until last year he started working with MLW.
Yeah.
And
between that whole thing, Tony Schiavone was I don't know if he still is, but for a long time he was the commentator for the Atlanta Braves, Major League Baseball.
yeah, that's what I heard too.
Dude.
But him returning to commentating wrestling is probably the best thing for all of us, you know? But I think I don't know if we predicted or those who wanted it or however you want to say it. He actually signed with AEW, but no hesitation. Now, the reason we say this is because we just received information that WWE wanted to sign him. Basically, they were trying to prevent him from working with AEW, but the reason is, to show Tony Schiavone's mind, you and I can see this, and hopefully you guys can.
Yeah.
You can say this, why now? Why you want to sign him to now? You had a chance to pick him up almost
A long time
ago, like over 20 years ago. Now you want to sign him to prevent him from going to AEW, but come on.
All of a sudden.
And he decides, you know what, I'm going to AEW. I like their product better. And the upside to this, you got two legendary commentators who were around during the time of the Monday Night Wars.
JR, Tony Schiavone.
Yeah. So here's the thing, you're probably asking, so he's going to join Jim Ross and Excalibur? Yes, but there's also a little twist to that. He wasn't the only one they signed. They actually got the Golden Boy from Fyter Fest, the other commentator who was there. Now, there's talk AEW were impressed by his commentary skills at Fyter Fest, so they could have a rotating shift with the third man. So basically, the way it's being said, Excalibur and Jim Ross are the primary commentators.
Yes.
So the third man, I mean, we can say that both commentators, Golden Boy and Tony Schiavone, are good at that. So I don't think it's going to be a big problem rotating either one of them. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, I have to say they're both good. So if they see they can, work things out with both of these guys, then I think there would be no problem. But now, for Tony Schiavone, his role, other than being a commentator, he's being given the title as senior producer of commentating.
Right. Honestly, all they really need is Jim Ross, Excalibur, and Tony Schiavone. The other guys...
Well, Alex Marquez, there was a lot of complaints towards him.
Alex
Marvez.
Yeah, Marvez.
Yeah,
we could do without all that noise.
Without him, we don't need him. I mean, I don't think he did have the same kind of tenacity as Jim Ross or Excalibur or Tony Schiavone.
I don't think he understood what the commentator role is in professional wrestling. Yeah. Like commentating with... Okay, let me break it down real quick. Commentating with professional wrestling is almost different and the same when it comes to other commentating. Like when it comes with boxing, UFC, what's it called, and all the other sports. With commentating a professional wrestling match, you have to sell the product that's in the ring. Like whether you're, I don't know if they still do this formula, whether you're a heel commentator or a face commentator. Either way it is, you're supposed to make the viewers on television or streaming believe that, this person right here is a good guy. He's fighting for this, or this guy is a nasty, evil brute, and he'll do anything that that type of stuff. Like if they're able to sell the product properly and not sell the product, whereas every time you see something happening, just tune in and pay $19.99, like that type of selling, like the product. I'm not really into all that.
Yeah. So, but we're all glad that Tony Schiavone's with AEW.
Yes.
That's all that matters.
Pretty much.
So, we can't wait to see him do his commentary skills to AEW to give the viewers what they want. And, of course, I can't wait to see him next to Jim Ross. So, this is what we got for AEW, but we will follow up after All Out. We'll give you guys our thoughts and quick review on this one.
Michael Cole sucks.
All right. So, we're now in New Japan category.
Yeah.
As you all know, we're unable to watch the Super J Cup.
For some reason, they don't want to put it on New Japan World.
Basically, much of their stuff in Japan, they only broadcast as soon as possible. But if it's here, we just got to wait a month. They did that already with Southern Showdown, with the Rob Eagles betraying Bullet Club partner.
They didn't even show that in entirety.
No. But we did have the results, and I did my homework yesterday. So let's go from who won on the first day, which was August 22nd, in the order. Soberano Jr. defeated Rocky Romero. TJP over Clark Connors. Garicico versus Bushi. Taguchi over Gresham. El Fantasmo over Eagles. In case you're wondering, he low-blowed him.
Ah.
And of course, the dream match, Will Ospreay over Amazing Red. What do you think?
I really don't have much thoughts because I didn't get to watch it.
But of course, is that surprise to you about El Fantasmo giving a low blow?
Oh yeah, that's
Robbie.
some classic Bullet Club tactics.
Not to mention, a feud between Robbie Eagles and Fantasmo is not over.
Oh, far from over.
I mean, if you remember, he was not too pleased with Fantasmo getting involved in his matches.
Right.
So this is not going to be the end of those two.
No.
Now, the next part of the J Cup, the Super J Cup actually, we got Garicico over Soberano Jr. El Fantasmo over TJP. Dragon Lee over Taguchi. Ospreay over Show. So, as you know, that's how it reduced between those matches. Now, the final day, which is the final match they're going to go, it started out with 2 matches. Whoever wins these 2 matches will go on to the last one. So let's go with the 2 first matches they throw in. They actually put this as first.
Mm-hmm.
So they can give the 2 contenders time to rest. Dragon Lee over Garicico. El Fantasmo over Will Ospreay. In case you're wondering, Tajiri interfered. No, Taiji Ishimori interfered.
Oh, okay. I was like, what?
My bad. I saw
like,
someone posted a clip of this on Twitter. And of course, Robbie Eagle saves Ospreay, in case you're wondering. So, the final match that they posted it, I saw some photos of this on Twitter. It's El Fantasmo over Dragon Lee. I mean, the way it looked, they were both bleeding on both sides.
Oh.
So I'm going to assume this must have been an epic match. If there's that much blood, it means it was epic.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what happened in the Super J Cup. So the winner is El Fantasmo. So it wouldn't be long until El Fantasmo gets the one title that Bullet Club needs to get in their collection. The junior heavyweight title.
Oh, they'll get it back.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we'll just have to wait and see how it goes. Now that the Super J Cup is done, we're going to... Hold on. Have all my notes here. We still got the Royal Quest, well, we won't be able to see until next month, but I will follow up on this one, but like I said, the one match we definitely have to pay attention the most is the Minoru Suzuki versus Okada for the IWGP Heavyweight title. But if anything happened, but here's the thing. This particular event takes place tomorrow. Same day as All Elite Wrestling. But there's a time difference.
Oh, yeah.
So if you guys watch it before All Elite Wrestling, that's good. Me, I cannot watch it at night. I need my beauty sleep.
I'm working a double tomorrow. I don't get to watch it
No.
until later.
But you can. But here's the thing: you can still watch it at Fight TV.
Ah.
So if you're unable to watch it at New Japan on the NJPW World, you can watch it on Fight TV. So keep that in mind. It's not. Don't count your chickens just yet.
There we go.
So if you're interested to watch this match, go to Fight TV. Now, we normally don't do this, but I feel we should do it.
Okay.
The upcoming schedules for New Japan. They're going to have the Road to Destruction. If you guys know this one, there's like 3 different cities they go for destruction.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to go from September 4th all the way to September 14th.
I think, what is it? Is Jay White going after the U.S. title or the Intercontinental title?
I'm not sure because I heard that Kota Ibushi's willing to get his hands on the title. He wants to put his title, his case on the line, and he has one thing in mind. He actually wants to get his hands on the Intercontinental title too, to become double champion. So looks like Naito's ambitions has got a lot worse.
There you go.
If I was Naito, I would have just kept my mouth shut. But he's
no.
well, he won't. But
Naito.
if it was me. Now, if you guys know this, we have been recently seeing New Japan making appearances in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
There is upcoming events in the East Coast. If you guys are not from California, or if you guys live in a central area, they're going to be soon coming here to the West Coast in November 9th in San Jose, California, called New Japan Showdown in San Jose. Now, it's still unclear what the card is, but I hope it's good. You know, if you guys are from the northern part of California, you got to go watch them. Definitely. It's still unclear where they're going to have their event at or who's going to be there, but we will keep in touch on that one.
Right.
Now, the final thing, this guy's name has been all over the news in the wrestling world for a while. We're talking about Cain Velasquez. Now, on a previous episode, we talked about this guy who was a UFC fighter who made his debut with AAA on Triple Mania early this August. And boy, he impressed all of us.
Not just that, but I don't know how long ago it was, but he beat Brock Lesnar in 1 minute and 46 seconds in a real fight.
Yeah. So what happened is that there was been reports that Cain Velasquez attended the Super J Cup the second day, and there's photos of him there.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a meeting with the New Japan officials. It appears that they are interested in having him there. But now you asked I thought he was in contract status with AAA. Like, not exactly from what I understood, but he is scheduled to appear in 2 more AAA events. Now, the events that I am aware of, he will be in Madison Square Garden on the 15th of September, and then there will be one at the Forum in Inglewood on the 15th of October. So he will be in those 2 events. So it's still, he doesn't have like a AAA contract. I think he's just doing this. But as far as contract status with the UFC, he's still active. But his contract does allow him to do pro wrestling matches and all this other stuff. So I'm not sure what New Japan have plans, but we just hope they don't take it back to Inokinism.
No.
I mean, I know that Cain Velasquez is a fan of pro wrestling.
Yeah.
He displayed it. He didn't even throw any of his MMA moves that much, except for that submission move that he threw at Tejano.
It's probably gonna have like my prediction for New Japan handling Cain Velasquez. I see them like using him for like a mid card exhibition match, like not anything to do with like any belts, but like put him up against larger wrestlers.
Like, who do you think?
I'd say probably first one. I say not necessarily larger, but more skilled. I'd like to see Kane versus Minoru Suzuki.
Well, yeah. That's also top of my head right now with him. What about Tomohiro Ishii?
Most definitely, yes.
So there's that. What about Kenta?
Kenta? He'll break Kenta. I'm sorry, but he'll break Kenta.
So, this is all we got right now with New Japan.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you have any other things you want us to talk about in New Japan that we either missed or we failed to mention, leave a comment. Alright, we have talked about NWA a lot recently since they made the developmental change that they are going to have a TV series. Now, we were well aware it was going to start soon. It was going to take place in Atlanta, Georgia. But the real question is, what other things? I did find out that they're going to start on the 30th of September and the 1st of October. What do you think?
I feel like their show is going to get kind of like phased out. Not necessarily phased out, but kind of looked over considering the move with AEW's TV show and NXT.
Yeah, basically it will be more... Probably it's going to be overshadowed from...
Yeah.
Probably the term you were looking for.
Yeah, that, exactly, yeah.
But I did know that their tickets will be on sale for their shows on the 3rd of September, which we're not that far off. But I did hear that they're going to be working alongside Georgia Public Broadcast, the GPB Studios, and it's going to be their location where they're going to have all their shows at. But I did hear that their tickets will be limited. It's not going to be in some big location like in an arena or a stadium or anything. It was just going to be a simple, small location. And there you can see that video of Billy Corgan checking out the place.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he was trying to get lay out of the land when they're ready to do their first live shows. But like you said, it could overshadow.
Yes.
Be overshadowed by AEW and NXT. But we just got to wait and see how it goes. I mean, if it does become a successful, I'm sure Billy Corgan...
Like, I'm not saying people aren't going to watch it. I mean, there's obviously still, people out there that want to see NWA stuff.
Yeah, so they also said they're going to have VIP packages as well for this one because we don't know if there are still fans of the NWA from long ago or people who have been aware of the NWA for that long. But I'm excited to see where they're going to go on this one. So, like, I've always been more, open-minded with other promotions.
Right.
So, we just got to wait and see what Billy Corgan has up his sleeve, since he's the president of this company. So, we'll keep tabs on this one.
Most definitely.
All right. We didn't hardly talk about these guys. We were talking about OWE, also known as Oriental Wrestling Entertainment, a promotion based out of China. And of course, one of their partners with AEW. Now, recently, they have been making some interesting moves. They have done shows in Toronto, Canada.
Shima's the president, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, there's a guy named Dragon Fu's the president, but
okay.
Shima is kind of like the guy who brought this with him.
Oh, okay, cool.
So, like I said, the OWE has been making interesting moves. They have done shows in Toronto, Canada, and the UK as well. So, you probably ask why they haven't come down here. Well, we don't like to get too political on this because we like to keep that out of it. But we can try to explain the situation on this as possible. Like, reason is the U.S., which is us, we don't have an agreement much with China because, it's all political and all this stuff, and which is something we don't like to talk about, but we are aware of the things like that. So, as much as we want to see OW come here, do a show or something, I mean, we don't know when that will happen. So, we just hope they can work an agreement. Because originally, we were supposed to have Chinese native wrestlers come here for Double or Nothing. And, of course, it didn't happen. We ended up with only the Japanese wrestlers in OW, which is the Strong Arts. Now, the recent updates that I heard about with OW in the UK, they just started a tag team tournament down there.
Oh.
So, I just found out 2 AEW stars are participating. And I don't know what you think. They actually booked Luchasaurus and Marco Stunt.
Oh.
Yeah, I figured you had that reaction.
Why?
I don't know. I mean, I would have assumed it would be him and Jungle Boy.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
I mean, I don't know why, or is it because Jungle Boy's not up to going to UK? But whatever the scenario is, I don't know why. I don't know why they put these two together, because the most obvious choice is Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy.
Yeah.
But I have seen on Twitter that many of the many AEW wrestlers have made appearances at OWE. Sammy Guevara and Brandon Cutler. You may have seen that on Sammy Guevara's vlogs.
Oh, that is hilarious.
Yeah, but hopefully one day we get to see those guys come down here. OW, I mean, I would want to see them. Nico would want to see them. I'm sure all of you guys want to see them. So we will follow more on what OWE's been up to, if there's any new events. And hopefully we get to see them more in AEW as well. So just sit back and relax on this one. Alright. You're probably getting tired of this because I mentioned this a lot. Well, the viewers, not you. NXT has now been giving more updates for their upcoming live shows that they're going to throw in. Televised. As you all know, that you probably ask yourselves, are these guys going to travel? Well, that has already been confirmed. They're not.
It's only going to be at Full Sail?
At Full Sail, yes. Reason is that they are not going to go like that at first. They're going to still do majority of their shows throughout the rest of the year. But, however, this is something that's already been out there. If AEW succeeds with their weekly television shows, because they're also going to be touring, then NXT may have to do the same thing as well. Which will be an interesting change of dynamics for everybody. Especially the talent, the crew, management, the whole enchilada.
Right.
I just hope things don't get too much for these guys, But they are considering NXT as a third brand. But it will be no longer the developmental program as it is. But I did hear there are hold on, let me see. I gotta look at my notes because I wrote this down last night. Yes, so there will be no pay-per-views at all with NXT throughout the rest of the year. So it is kind of interesting they're going to go in this route. Because right now we are not that far off from soon to be called the Wednesday Night Wars. So we just got to wait and see how this goes down with NXT and AEW. Since we now know NXT will broadcast theirs on the 18th of September. AEW's on October 2nd. But let's just wait and see what happens then. But the good news, and I'm sure you guys are probably going to be saying this once I say it, they're probably going to say, thank God.
Right.
Vince is not involved in this one. See, that right there. The reaction.
Yes.
And I know you guys are doing it. I know you are. I may not see you, but I know it. So Triple H is going to be running the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
Which I'm sure we all wanted it from the start. And of course, Triple H said that he's not going to change the NXT for what it is.
Right.
Which is a good thing, because we don't want that. Because we can agree NXT is a great brand.
Yes, it is.
So, I can't wait to see what Triple H will bring into the whole thing. And, of course, you probably ask, are they going to do like a little shake-up thing? Well,
right.
I don't think that's going to happen. I just hope they don't. Because that's going to suck. But also I want to bring this one out about the NXT. Apparently, rumors were surfacing that WWE has been in contact with Enzo Amore and Big Cass. But now there's been flip-flopping saying that Enzo and Big Cass were not interested. WWE say that they were not. I'm like, okay, where's these sources come from? We get sources from the Wrestling Observer, Pro Wrestling Sheet, Pro Wrestling Insider. This whole thing is becoming a flip-flop type of thing.
Okay.
I mean, I know all of you probably would want Big Cass, but not Enzo. Because we all can agree Enzo's not good in the ring, but he's good with the mic.
Yeah, he's got that mic skills.
Yeah. And Big Cass is good in the ring, but not with the mic.
No.
So basically we got a different dynamic duo here. But if there's anything that comes into light about Enzo and Big Cass, we will follow up on that as well. So that's it for the NXT, and I hope we can just stop talking too much about it. Because I know I've been talking about this for weeks.
Right.
And I know you guys are getting tired. So just pray hopefully next week will be the last. So this last thing I'm going to do is called the Info Scramble. Basically, I got tons of information that I'm going to put out. So the first one, as you all been aware, I have talked about Northeast Wrestling and the recent event that they had called Prison Break, featuring Jon Moxley and Pentagon. As you all know, I did say there's two ways to watch it. Either go to High Spots Wrestling Network or buy the DVD. But good news, you can also watch it on Fight TV for $14.99. So if you're interested in seeing this match, you can watch it there, so you don't have to go to another network place to subscribe. But if you have Fight TV, you can watch it there instead, which is a good thing. I know you probably watch it. Then we got, of course, we want to give a congratulations to Sean Spears and Peyton Royce for getting married over the weekend. Nothing but happiness for these two. And also, the original leader of the Bullet Club just got married.
Finn Balor.
Yep. To Veronica Rodriguez, who, if you guys don't know, she works as a reporter for the Fox Sports in Mexico. So we're very happy for these couples. Nothing but happiness for everybody.
Yeah.
So, now, I just talked about the MLW about the 5th of October that I won't be able to go to the Crash Wrestling down in Tijuana. Reason is I'm going to another wrestling event.
Called?
Wrestling Worldwide Organization. Now, I have been aware of this event before. A friend of mine actually works at Viejas Casino, if you guys are in the Senate area. They have this on certain occasions, and I've always wanted to check this out, but the only reason I'm going, we got members of the Anoy family who's going to be there. Tonga Kid and his son, Sifu, but here's the thing, Tonga Kid, his other son, is Jacob Fatu.
That's right.
So I'm excited to see this, because this is something different that I normally, you see, if you guys are in local areas, doesn't matter where you live. If you live in LA, if you live in Portland, Oregon, Seattle, you want to check out every local wrestling show it is, because there are those who love independent promotion.
Right.
Because that's where much of the action is, because we can agree W is more like Hollywood style.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as you all know, I went to a Level Up Pro Wrestling showcase not a couple weeks ago. Well, I'm going to go one this coming Sunday, which is called We Still Here, Homie. Now, the reason it's called that way, they're celebrating their first year anniversary. So, this is going to be interesting because they're going to throw in a little party. And, of course, they're charging people to go to the party. $10 instead of 20.
$10 to get in, fool.
And of course, they said there will be a keg is over there. I don't drink beer, but I'm excited for the matches they're gonna throw in. So
Okay.
I will put highlights of that one on the next week's episode.
Yeah.
So, and hopefully I can interview some of these guys because
Yeah, I was gonna say that should get like at least some audio clips.
hell, not to mention I did put the one with the reaction of everybody on that balls match.
Mm-hmm.
But I will try to see if get you guys some reaction of the fans, how they react to this one. Now, there's also the last thing I want to talk about. I forgot to mention this on the news update alert.
Huh.
Apparently, Luchasaurus is going to have his final match at Bar Wrestling.
Right.
He's going to say his goodbyes to everyone. Reason is, we all know what's coming soon,
Yes.
which is the AEW weekly television show, and Luchasaurus is now signed with AEW, so he's probably going to be working full-time with these guys. So it's going to be a sad moment for a lot of fans who have watched them in the independent scenes. But if you guys are true diehard Luchasaurus fans, well, you can still follow them. So basically, if you guys are planning to watch this, you can either watch it on the Fi on demand whenever they upload it, or go to LA, attend a Bar Wrestling show. So that's it, what we got today. So if you guys have any comments you want to leave down below, go ahead, leave them. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. If you guys feel like I want to talk more about anything that I haven't talked about as well, or there's something I missed throughout the entire time, leave a comment as well. And please subscribe to us and tell your friends about it. So on behalf of Deleted Wrestle Zone, I'm J-Rod.
Nico.
We must bid all of you adieu. So goodbye. Mwah. Have a nice day.